Let's solve this question. An inlet tap A can fill an empty tank in 5 hours and an outlet tap B can empty a full tank in 15 hours if the taps are opened on alternate hours, that is tap A is opened on first hour and tap B is opened for the second hour, again tap A is opened for the third hour, and so on. In how many hours the tank gets full? So how to solve it is, they are saying that there is a tank which is having an inlet as well as an outlet. Okay, now if you operate only the inlet tank, it will be able to fill the tank in 5 hours. If you open only the outlet tap on a full tank, it will be able to empty the full tank in 15 hours. See this, when the tank is completely empty, the inlet tap can fill it in 5 hours, assuming that it is operating alone. And if you close this, let's say the tank is full and there is no inflow, if you open the outflow, it will be able to empty it in 15 hours. That is what is given. Now they are saying that for the first hour we are going to open this, for the second hour we are going to open this, right? Which means for the first hour there will be only inlet operating and in the second hour only outlet operating. Like that, if we alternate, then what is the total amount of time required to fill the tank, right? So like this, for the first hour there will be inlet and for the second hour there will be outlet, again inlet, again outlet. If you are going to do this way, then what is the total time required to fill the tank? That's the question. How to solve it is again the same way. So let's try to find out what is the rate at which A is filling the tank and what is the rate at which B is emptying the tank, given that A can fill an empty tank in 5 hours and B can empty a full tank in 15 hours. We have to find out the rate at which they are operating. Now in order to find out the rate at which they are operating, we have to initially assume the capacity of the tank. Now since the numbers given here are 5 and 15, let us assume that the capacity of the tank is 15, which is a multiple of these two, right? Common multiple. So let us assume that the tank capacity is 15 liters, right? Now what is the rate at which A is filling? A is filling at a rate of 3 liters per hour, y divided. And what is the rate at which B is filling? It is filling at a rate of 1 liter per hour. Okay, it is emptying at a rate of 1 liter per hour, isn't it? Now they are saying that for the first hour inlet is open. Now what happens, in the first hour we will be filling the tank with 3 liters, right? And in the second hour outlet will be opened, which means in the second hour there will not be any inflow but there will be outflow, which means it is emptying the tank by 1 liter. Therefore if you let this happen for one turn here is 1 hour of this and 1 hour of this, if you let it go like this, in one turn we will be having 2 liters in the tank, which means in one turn we are filling the tank with 2 liters. Got it? Okay, now what is the total capacity of the tank? 15 liters. Like in earlier questions, this 15 is not a multiple of the turn capacity, isn't it? Therefore I am writing the tank capacity, which is 15 liters, as 2 into 7 plus 1. Now what does it mean? If I let 7 such turns happen, then I will be able to fill the tank with 14 liters, right? And 1 more liter has to be filled next. That is the meaning of it. Now what happens? So 7 such turns happen, which means the last one to finish the turn is outlet. Next 1 more liter has to be added, and the next turn is inlet, right? And see this, how many liters have to be added? 1 liter. Now if I open the inlet, which is tap A, for 1 hour it can fill 3 liters, isn't it? 3 liters it is going to take 1 hour, but for 1 liter it is going to take only 1/3 of the hour. Got it? So at the end only I need 1/3 of the hour. So see this, 7 turns are required, which means each turn is 2 hours, therefore 14 hours is required, plus 1/3 of the next hour is required. Therefore the total amount of time required is 14 1/3 hours. Got it? Now There is a chance that you might commit a mistake here. If you see this, you will see that in 1 ton we are able to fill 2 liters, which means you will think that in 2 hours we are filling 2 liters. Therefore, in 1 hour you will think that we can fill 1 liter, and the total amount of water required is 15 liters. Therefore, you might think that 15 hours are required, but then only 14 1/3 hours are required. Got it? That is, just be careful there. Okay. And one more thing is, instead of this order, inlet then outlet, inlet then outlet, instead of this order, let's imagine that it is outlet and then inlet, outlet and then inlet, outlet and then inlet. This way, if you assume that 7 turns are done, then the last one to finish it is outlet and inlet, right? Oh, this way we cannot go, isn't it? Why we can't go in this way? The reason is, if the tank is already empty, you cannot empty it initially. Therefore, this order is never possible. Are you getting this? What does outlet say? If the tank is having some water, it is going to drain it out, isn't it? But initially, if you are going to start with an empty tank, that is what the assumption is. Here also, we are going to have the empty tank. We don't have anything in it. So this order is definitely not possible. Only order possible is this, and the answer is this one. Okay, fine.